Well, folks, we've got something interesting today. It is the BMW XM. Now, this is the flagship BMW M car, and the second time ever that BMW has produced an M car without basing it on a regular model. So you will not see an X18i. This is an M exclusive car. For interest, the very first BMW M car was the BMW M1 back in the late 1970s. Now, I gotta tell you, I was supposed to shoot a video with this week, but we were rained out. And it's kind of not a bad thing, because earlier in the week, and certainly my first impression of this car was not particularly a favourable one. It is not what you'd call classically handsome, let's just say that. It is a massive thing. And I mean, look at that nose. Yeah, this is not a car that wins a lot of fans straight away. However, it certainly turns heads, and it certainly has people voice an opinion about it. I'll tell you that it hasn't been largely positive, but I have had a couple of people who simply say this thing is magnificent. And so I guess it's one of those cars that will really kind of come down to who you are and what statement you want to make. Now let's have a quick look inside. Like, as you can see, you've got these lovely white leather seats, the light up M headrest, but you've also got aged brown leather, which is nicely stitched, mixed with carbon fiber, mixed with sort of an aluminium look for the speakers. You've got a cool light up Bowers & Wilkins sound system there. So it's got an awful lot going on, I will tell you that. You even get some pretty cool XM pillows, which, you know, aren't a bad thing. But look, if you want to take it, and I'll be honest with you, right? This is the way I looked at it from the get-go, is this was an SUV first and foremost, and then a performance car second. Ignore my jacket, but check out, this is the bag that the car's charger comes with, because this, of course, is a plug-in hybrid. You've got a twin-turbo V8 up front and a plug-in hybrid system as well, but that's the bag you get to hold your charger. But if you look at this car as a luxury SUV first, it falls apart very quickly. It's not particularly luxurious in terms of ride quality. I mean, look at those wheels. There is little to no rubber on those. But if you do treat it as an M car first and a luxury SUV second, then it kind of takes a completely different sort of context. It doesn't change the way it looks, obviously, but you start to reframe what BMW are trying to do with this car. And I guess the context is, rather than taking a big luxury SUV and making it a performance-oriented car, why not take a performance-oriented car and wrap a bit of space and luxury around it, which is what BMW have done here. So think of it this way. This is the M3 that you can take the whole family along for a really energetic ride. And energetic it is. This thing is absolutely blisteringly quick. It is unusably quick in many circumstances, and particularly on Australian roads. It's a car very well suited to the Middle East or perhaps other countries where speeding regulations aren't as well enforced as they are here in Australia, because this thing doesn't even wake up until you hit triple figures, and it has got so much punch. You can use the M dynamic differential like you can in a regular M car to basically have this giant SUV be a rear bias all-wheel drive. So you will see and feel the tail get out if you're pushing it a bit too hard. It's got a 48 volt dynamic, well, it's a hybrid obviously, but it's got a dynamic anti-sway capability. So like we saw in the AMG GLS 63, which has a 48 volt system, it is able to feel like a much smaller car when you're hitting some winding roads. The problem is here in Australia is you're basically over the law within a few seconds of this car, and it has so much capability beyond that. But it doesn't change the way that it looks. And I tell you what, I saw one in black, and black on black on black looks pretty menacing. This one, look, I don't know, but I have kind of grown to not love it, but maybe understand it a bit more as the week has worn on. So which I think is the point. It maybe makes sense to have had a video later in the week, certainly than earlier. But this is it. This is the BMW XM, a massively powerful plug-in hybrid hyper-performance SUV. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below, because yeah, for every 10 people who have said, dear God, I hate it, there have been a couple of people who have said, oh my God, I love it. And I think that's what BMW is going for. They're not trying to make friends with this car. They're not trying to suit everybody with this car. They are trying to make a statement that sort of says, look, we can kind of still do whatever we want in terms of performance and capability. And if you're all buying SUVs, maybe try this. And I will show you this. It's a little bit dirty, but check out the BMW badges on the top of the rear window. The rear window is the weirdest part, I will say. Like, if you look at it, and I'm sorry it's a bit reflecty, but it's so wide at the back. It is a very, very unique car. Let's just call it that. But you can find out more about what I thought of it, particularly as the week wore on, in the review on Drive.com.au. But I would love to hear your thoughts. Let us know. Are you a fan of the BMW XM? Do you understand the direction that BMW and M have gone with this thing? Or would you rather that they didn't try? Here you go, BMW XM. I'll fire it up. Oh, very hard to do this. And well, there we go. So engine's going, it goes into hybrid mode. I don't know if you can hear that, but it is a pretty punchy, powerful thing. Pretty cool setup. Oh, and this, of course, is the roof. So there's no sunroof on this car. You get this crazy textured roof, and you can change those colors. And when you unlock the car, this is papaya, by the way. When you unlock the car, it does a blue and red M kind of motif as you go through it, but it's yet another interestingly unique part of the XM.